Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are doing great. Here with the Chicago Bears team preview for the 2021 season. Hope you guys are excited for football like I am. Coming up, we got preseason next week, which is going to be really great. So, going to be covering the Bears here. Going to hop right into it here. All right, so we got the Chicago Bears. Coming off an 8-8 season, just you could say that they had a bad season at 8-8. A lot of expectation, kind of didn't really live up to it. Quarterback play was not very good at all. Their additions to the season, some key acquisitions: drafted Justin Fields to take over that Mitch Trubisky spot. They have Andy Dalton there. We'll see who ends up starting week 1. That's kind of a big question mark. Andy Dalton was supposed to be the starter. That's what their coaches said, but they went and drafted Justin Fields, so I feel like it's going to be Fields that's playing. Maybe not week 1, but I feel like he's definitely going to be playing most of the season. Otherwise, they wouldn't have drafted him at 11. They brought in Andy Dalton, brought in Damian Williams for some running back depth, but they got David Montgomery, going to be the bell cow running back. But, they do need some backup running backs here with Tariq Cohen coming off injury. Hasn't been that reliable since he was fully healthy. So Damian Williams coming off a year where he was out with took the year off for COVID. So Damian Williams coming back should help them in the passing game for sure. Then they brought in Desmond Trufant, cornerback from the Lions. Very solid cornerback. Definitely a cornerback to help their pretty sturdy defense. Key losses: lost Cordell Patterson, pretty sneaky big loss there. He kind of did everything for him last season: wide receiver, running back, did the kick returns, all that. So losing a big utility guy is kind of a big loss there. Lost Anthony Miller to a trade. Was very solid in the slot for them this season. Last season was a pretty solid receiver too. As bad as the passing game was, Anthony Miller was pretty solid. Then they lost Kyle Fuller, their stud cornerback, to the Broncos. Tough loss there, but still have a really solid defense here. Just looking at their projected depth chart for this season. On offense, we're looking at either Andy Dalton or Justin Fields at quarterback. David Montgomery, Tariq Cohen, Damian Williams, Khalil Herbert, who they drafted. Those are their running backs. We got Allen Robinson, Darnell Mooney, Damiere Byrd, Justin Hardy, Marquise Goodwin, and then Javon Wims as the 6 wideouts. At tight end, we got Cole Kmet, Jimmy Graham, and Jesse James. 3 pretty solid tight ends there. Their O-line, looking at their ranking, the O-line ranked number 27. Not a very good O-line here, with Tevin Jenkins, James Daniels, Cody Whitehair, Alex Bars, and German Ifedi. Just looking at their projected... Looking at their defense here, pretty solid line and linebackers. Got Akeem Hicks, Eddie Goldman, Bilal Nichols, Khalil Mack, the stud on D, Roquan Smith, Danny Trevathan, Robert Quinn, Jalen Johnson, Tashawn Gibson Sr., Eddie Jackson, and Desmond Trufant. Overall, really solid defensive bunch there. Tough to score on this Bears team. Just looking at, going to go to some offensive stats here. We got the Bears. Let's see, where are the Bears at? All right, the Chicago Bears. I really can't find the Bears on here. Here we go, Bears. Getting 331.4 yards per game of offense, 228.4 passing yards, 102.9 on the ground. Getting 23.3 points per game last season for the Bears. On defense, Bears just kind of outside the top 10 in defense, giving up 344.9 yards per game, 231.6 yards passing, 113.4 rushing yards a game, and then they're giving up 23.1 points per game. Yeah, defense has been pretty solid. Offense, a lot of question marks on offense. Got a really great running back in Montgomery, a really good receiver in Allen Robinson. Quarterback's the only question here. You got really solid core of tight ends. So the O-line's very questionable. So I think that's a big weakness of theirs is their O-line. And I think it's going to be another tough year for the Bears here. Even if Fields does play, Fields does have a lot of promise, but still a rookie. He's going to have some weapons. He's not going into a horrible situation, but the offense is really the big question mark, and I think it has been these last few years. All right, and the Vegas win total here. It's going to be currently have, let's see, they currently have the Bears 7.5 wins. I think I'm going to take the over. I think they can get to 8 or 9 wins this season, especially with that added extra game. Vegas has them at 7.5. Coming off an 8-8 season, I think they can get over that 7.5 hump right there. Looking at their schedule, starting out with the Rams, tough matchup in week 1. Get the Bengals in week 2, then Cleveland. Then you get Detroit and Las Vegas. But then you get a rough patch right here with Green Bay, Tampa Bay, San Francisco, Pittsburgh, Baltimore. I mean, you could really go 0-5 in that stretch right there. There's a very tough schedule. I think they definitely could get 8 wins. It's going to be against a lot of bad teams. They're going to have to get a couple upset wins over these big squads. Could be a lot to ask for. I don't know. But that's going to be it for the preview. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Be sure to check out the fantasy video for the Bears as well, along with my other videos for the other all the other teams. So see you guys in the next video.